everyone, I'm Amy Mckendrick. I'm the owner of MyNutritionCoach, and I have been working alongside Andrew and Christian with their businesses and Live Breathe for a long time now, and I love working with them and helping people to look at their nutrition a little bit more closely, because obviously we know nutrition is 80% of your results. So I'm here to help, just to support you guys a little bit more with your nutrition. Hi guys, welcome to the 8x8 challenge. I'm really excited to be sharing this information with you, giving you some more guidance about what the challenge is about, and helping to break down all the 8 points that you're going to have to follow throughout the challenge. It's really simple challenge that Live Breathe have put on, and they've done this because they really want to get their clients results, which is really important. That's what it's all about. You want results, and so this is a really simple process. It's designed to help you break lifelong habits that don't serve you very well, and that's all it's about. We have positive habits that we need to improve on, and we have the negative ones that we need to eliminate or decrease, and that's going to get us results. This program is extremely simple to follow, like I said, and I'm going to explain how it works. I'm going to break it down for you so that you really understand it. It's all written down on your ebook, but this is going to help just to make it a little bit clearer for you and just to expand on some of those points for you. So you're going to be basically given 56 points for the week. Okay, those 56 points are made up of 8 different things that you need to follow, lifestyle things that you need to follow, for 7 days of the week, which is 56 points. So your aim is to hold on to those 56 points each week. And at the end of it, obviously, they're going to add up the points to see who wins the challenge. And the higher the points that you retain throughout that 8 weeks, the obviously, the better the chance that you're actually going to win it. But not just that, you're going to have amazing results. You're going to be leaner, stronger, fitter. You're going to have better digestion, hopefully sleeping better, having better skin, better digestion, all the things that having a healthy body delivers. All right? So there's 4 positive things that you need to focus on and 4 negative things that you need to focus on. So we want you to improve or increase the positive things, and we want you to decrease or eliminate the negative things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain how it works, and all the different points that I want you to follow. And if you have any questions at the end of this, after we finish the video, you're welcome to ask questions on the Facebook page, and I will jump on and answer questions anytime. Also, you will be given a weekly planner and recipes that you can follow as well if you want to be a little bit more strict and a little bit more detailed around the certain foods that you're going to be eating. So, for instance, what to eat for breakfast and what to eat for snacks and so on. That's going to be sent to you, and you can follow that as well. But the whole point of this is just to focus on your habits. Alright, so the first thing that you need to focus on is you need to increase your daily exercise. So the rule is basically that you need to do 30 minutes of exercise every single day. Some form of exercise every single day. The recommended amount of exercise that you should be doing is 1.25 to 2.5 hours of vigorous exercise a week and 2 strength training sessions. That's pretty much what the government recommendations are for exercise. So if you're doing 30 minutes every day and doing your sessions at Live Breathe, so your strength training sessions and your HIIT sessions and all your circuit training, and then doing extra little bits of walking in between, you'll be achieving that. If you don't do 30 minutes, you lose a point. So just be really honest about whether you've done that, but this is great because the accountability of having to achieve that point will make you do it. That's really important. The second point is that you should be increasing fruit and vegetables. So what you need to be doing is having 5 servings of vegetables a day and 2 servings of fruit. Again, that's the government recommendations, minimum recommendations for optimal health. So what we want you to do is really focus on having a minimum of 5 servings of vegetables a day. You can have more than that if you want to, but aim for 5 servings. And then 2 servings of fruits as a maximum. Now, fruit is really healthy, it's really nutritious, but it does contain sugar. So minimize how much fruit you have and maximize how many vegetables you have. So what I've got here is just a variety of different vegetables. And as you can see, There's lots of different coloured vegetables here. So what I want you to also do is really aim to have as much fresh vegetables as possible, raw, and lots of colour, because the colour is what represents the antioxidants and the nutrients. The more variety you have of colour, the more antioxidants and nutrients you're getting. So then you've got your fruit, and the same thing applies to fruit. You know, have variety, have blueberries, apples, mandarins, all your fresh summer and spring fruits that are coming in season at the moment. Really try and vary what you're having. And another point is we want you to try and include vegetables or fruit in every single meal of the day. This is the best tip to make sure that you don't fail. So every single meal that you eat, including snacks, 3 meals a day plus 2 snacks, you include fruit or vegetables. If you do that, you'll achieve your 7 servings a day. It's really that simple. If you don't achieve your 7 servings a day of fruit and vegetables, it can be 7 servings of vegetables and no fruit, that's fine, but you want to make sure it's 7 servings a day, then you lose a point. So really try and be accountable about that too. The next point is that you want to make sure that you're really well hydrated every day. Now, we have a very, very weak thirst mechanism in humans. Humans, sometimes we don't actually know or recognize when we're thirsty a lot of the time. The only way to make sure that you've got a very strong thirst mechanism is to drink more water. It's that simple. So you should be aiming for 30 mils of water per kilogram of body weight every single day. So if you're 60 kilograms, you should be having 1.8 litres of water a day as a minimum. You can have more, but make that your minimum. So another tip there is to drink a big glass of water as soon as you wake up in the morning. If you want to make it even healthier to help flush all the toxins and help to kickstart your metabolism and your digestion, is to add some apple cider vinegar to the water, maybe some fresh lemon as well, or instead of. And then get yourself a really big bottle of water that you can carry with you at all times or keep on your desk. If you don't have it with you, you're not going to drink it. So make sure that you have that with you. Now, again, if you don't achieve your minimum requirements, let's just say that it's 2 litres of water a day, then you don't get that point. So really try and focus on being hydrated. One more tip there is try to drink water in between meals, not at the same time as you eat. Because sometimes we actually think that we're hungry, but we're actually thirsty. So drink water in between meals to help fill you up, but also to keep you hydrated, but it'll also allow you to drink more water, because I can't drink 2 litres of water a day if I'm only drinking when I eat, because you can't fit it in. All right, so that's the third point. If you don't achieve that, you don't get that point. So there's your 3 points so far. The fourth is sleep and recovery. So we all know that we need 7-8 hours sleep a night to perform at our best, but a lot of the time we don't do it. We don't prioritize sleep. We go to bed too late at night, we wake up too early, and we're not as productive if we're not getting enough sleep. But not just that, we produce a lot more stress hormones. It puts a lot of stress on the body, and that can make us not lose fat or inhibit us from losing fat or make us gain weight. So it's actually really counterproductive to not get enough sleep. Also, it's in your recovery phase of after exercise, that's when you build lean muscle. So if you're not recovering and letting yourself recover properly and resting properly, then you can't build lean muscle, which is going to inhibit your results at the end of the day too. So really try and aim for 7-8 hours of sleep every single night. The next point is we want you to reduce alcohol. So obviously alcohol's not good for us. I know it's fun, and we all like to have it occasionally, but unfortunately too many people make it a daily habit to have a glass of wine. And it's not a healthy habit. It affects our sleep, it affects our stress levels, but also it has a lot of calories. It's 7 calories per gram, which is very, very high. And what it does is it also competes with carbohydrate metabolism. So if you're having a meal and you're having alcohol at the same time, you're just going to be storing all those carbs instead of metabolizing them properly. So again, just one alcoholic drink, you lose that point. So really try not to have it. Now, obviously we're not trying to get you to be perfect. You don't have to retain 56 points every week to get a really good result, but it's that accountability. Instead of having that glass of wine and you think, God, I'm going to lose that point if I drink this wine. Do I really want to lose that point? No, I want to retain that point. And it's all about just seeing your results at the end of these 8 weeks and seeing how much you get done and how well you feel without having alcohol. So like I said, 1 drink, you lose that point. The next point is obviously a big one, and it's an obvious one too, is to make sure you're reducing refined sugars. Now, obviously sugar is really, really bad for us. It affects our blood sugar levels, and it affects our energy levels as well. So if we're having a lot of refined sugars, we tend to crave a lot more sugar too. Not only that, refined sugars are devoid of any nutritional value. So a lot of processed foods that we're having are affecting our body and the way our body performs, but it also doesn't give us any nutritional value. So really try and avoid foods that contain high sugar. So one way to do that is to look at the nutritional panel when you're choosing a food and have a look and see how much sugar is in it. Maybe it's less than 10 grams per 100 grams, but what I would suggest is actually just looking at the ingredients list. If sugar is high up the ingredients list, if it's one of the first, say 3 to 5 ingredients, it's going to be high in sugar. So just put it down. Don't bother even getting it. So for instance, this yogurt contains just milk, non-fat milk solids, and culture. That's all that's in it. There's no added sugar. So the only sugar you're getting is the lactose that's naturally occurring in the milk. So that's okay to have. But having something like, your Valia yogurt that has sugar added, or your very highly sweetened yogurts isn't ideal. You're better off going for like a natural yogurt, adding a little bit of natural raw honey and some fresh fruit to give you your sugar content, okay? So try and avoid all your refined sugars, white sugars, even table sugar, so cane sugar, and artificial sweeteners like aspartame. So it's in all your diet foods. So the ones that you can go for are things like I said, honey. You can use rice malt syrup and like an organic one. Organic coconut sugar is okay because again it's unrefined and it's natural. And you can use pure maple syrup as well, but also minimize those because it is still sugar in the body, but it's a better form of sugar. So just try and minimize how much you're having, but they're the approved sugars that you can have. And the best form of sugar is fruit. So if you don't have any of those, that's fine. Maybe for a snack you could have like a piece of fruit with some nuts. So all you're getting is the sugar from the fruit. And the good thing about having the sugar from the fruit is that because the fruit still has all the fiber and the water content, it's much lower glycemic because it's actually got all the fiber to help lower the glycemic index. So it doesn't affect your blood sugar levels as much as having pure sugar. Just making sure I've covered all that. Yes, actually one more thing. When you're looking at a food label, sugar comes in many different forms. It's fructose, it's sucrose, it's glucose, it's honey. It can be listed in so many different ways. So really just make sure that you recognize what the food is in the ingredients list. And if you see that it has sugar listed a few times and you know it's going to be high in sugar. For instance, the nice and natural muesli bars or those health bars have got a lot of sugar added because they've got 5 different sugars listed. And usually it's over 50% sugar, so it's not an ideal snack to have. So what you could do, instead of having those kind of bars as a healthy snack, you could go for something like this, like a paleo bar, because the ingredients list is very simple and the only sugar that's in this comes from fresh dates. So that's a fruit, obviously. So it's just got coconut, dates, macadamia nuts, organic coconut oil, and organic lemon oil. So that's a great little snack that you can carry with you if you want to have something in your bag. Or you can make yourself some protein balls. In my weekly planner and all my recipes, you'll find some protein balls, which is a great alternative for a chocolate bar or something like that. So it's a healthy snack. Plus, you can put it in your kids' lunch boxes. which is even better and much cheaper than buying these things. Now, the next point is to reduce refined carbs and white and beige carbs. So again, white and refined carbs are devoid of any nutritional value. When you're taking off the husk of a grain, you're losing a lot of the nutrients, but you're also losing a lot of the fibre, which raises the glycemic index, which affects our blood sugar levels, which means that it's going to be converting to glucose and glycogen as a short-term storage of fat, and if we're not burning that off, then it's going to be storing as fat. So the more refined sugars we have, the refined carbs we have, the more fat we're going to store. So I really want you to avoid things like white bread, white rice, white pasta, all your muffins and cakes and all of those kind of things that have white refined carbohydrates in there. What else? White crackers, like the white rice crackers and things like that, that also have lots of preservatives and flavours and stuff in it. And stick to whole grain carbs. So the approved carbs are things like good quality organic sourdough bread, which is fantastic. This is a really good brand, Bill's. And all that's in there is wholemeal organic flour. It's a sourdough, so it's been fermented, so it's much more digestible. And the gluten in the grain is pre-digested through that fermentation process. So sourdough bread is the best option, but really try to minimise how much bread you have. Try and stick to vegetables over bread. So obviously vegetables are another form of unrefined carbs that you can have. So if you're going for vegetables and some protein for dinner, you're getting your carbs, but it's unrefined and it's highly nutritious. So again, lots of variety. Another option is to go for a good quality muesli. This is a great brand, Farmer Joe. It's a paleo granola, and it's got some really good quality ingredients in it. It's just got a little bit of honey, but otherwise it's just coconut oil and nuts and seeds, and that's all that's in it. There's not even any grains in it. So that's good. You could have that with a bit of yogurt and some berries. Even coconut yogurt's a good option if you want to cut down your dairy. Another good carbohydrate is quinoa. So quinoa is, I guess, a very low GI form of a carbohydrate, but it also has lots of protein, natural proteins in it. So it's really good for vegetarians, for some protein source, but it's also a great alternative to having rice. So I use this in lots of different forms. I make salads out of it. I have it instead of rice with curries. I have it sometimes instead of pasta if I'm making like a bolognese sauce with lots of veggies in it. It's a really, really delicious addition to your meal. Plus you can make a nice big salad and have it for a few days and take to work. Another good carb is brown rice. So brown rice is the same, use it the same way as quinoa, so it's a really much better way than having white rice. And oats, so traditional, natural oats and none of the refined instant stuff in a packet with lots of flavourings and sugar and all the other things that go with it. Simple, but then adding the extra things to make it balanced. So add some nuts and seeds and some fresh fruit. You might use almond milk. This is a great brand, the Nutty Bruce one. You can get this in Woolworths. And this is just activated almond milk, and the only sugar that's in here is brown rice, organic brown rice syrup. So that's a really good brand to use if you want to replace milk. I found these crackers the other day. They're the Carmen's crackers. They're gluten-free, so all that's in here is quinoa and brown rice, and then it's just got some seeds and so on, sea salt, baking soda, rosemary extract. So this is a great little cracker that you can have, but I wouldn't just have this as a meal, because remember, we want you to have vegetables with every meal. So you can have a few crackers, a little bit of hummus, and maybe some veggies with it. That's a great little snack. All right, the next point and the last point, again, if you have any refined carbs, if you have, I don't know, white bread, or you have biscuits or cakes or muffins or anything like that, but that also comes under the refined sugars point, then you lose that point. So really try and have your good quality carbs. All right, the last point is we want you to avoid fast food, okay, and or takeaway food. Fast food obviously constitutes your very obvious things like McDonald's and KFC and Hungry Jack's and Subway and all of these processed foods, but also takeaway food, because unfortunately takeaway food does have hidden sugars, MSG, to increase the flavour, and all these different additives that you don't even know that exist in there. It's so much better for you to cook your own food. But if you are going to go out, you could go out to a whole food cafe or something, and that would be okay because you know that you're getting good quality ingredients. But we will be writing blogs throughout the 8 weeks, so I will give some great sort of alternatives for eating out, different restaurants and cafes that you can go to so you know that it's approved by the 8x8 challenge. And we'll give you some other blogs throughout the challenge, so there's some suggestions for different sugars and so on. And again, if you've got any questions, make sure that you ask on Facebook, or you can ask the trainers as well. So the fast foods, one tip there is to do a food prep on a Sunday and make enough for lunch throughout the week, so you're not tempted to go to the food courts and buy all your Chinese food and your Indian foods and Subway and all those foods that aren't really healthy. Do a food prep, put them in little containers, and then you've got food for the next 3 days or so. Make extra at dinner time and put it into a container so the next day you can take it to work with you for lunch. Prep snacks, cut up some veggies, buy some hummus or make your own fresh hummus. Put that again in airtight containers that you can have, to avoid having to go out and try and find something to eat if you're hungry, because that's where you get tempted. So again, if you have any fast food, then it's definitely fast food, you lose a point. And if you're going to be having something that you know is not necessarily approved, then you lose that point as well. So to really think about your points each day. Think, okay, well, I'm going out on a Saturday and I know I'm going to be having 1 glass of wine, and if you lose that 1 point for that one day, it's okay. Having 55 points out of 56 is pretty good. So just think about it each day. How can I retain these points? And that accountability is what's going to set you up for the challenge. Just make sure that you're being really honest, because if you're not honest, then you're not going to get the results, and you're only fooling yourself, aren't you? I think that's pretty much the points. It's basically you're increasing, just to reiterate, increasing exercise, which is a good habit, increasing fruit and vegetables, increasing water, and increasing sleep. So they're your things you're increasing, and then you're decreasing or eliminating completely alcohol, reducing or eliminating sugar as much as possible. So definitely eliminating your refined sugars, and if you're going to have any sugar, make sure that it's the approved type of sugars. Reduce your refined carbs or eliminate altogether, again, even better, and reduce fast food. It's that simple, guys. You just have to put your points in at the end of each week, and it will accumulate throughout the challenge, and then they'll decide the winner. So good luck. Oh, actually one more point I wanted to explain to you is that you can also have these type of protein powders as a meal replacement, or as a smoothie, or just as a protein powder as one of your meals, and this is completely approved as well. It's a vegan pea protein. There's 20 grams of protein per serve, so it's a really great alternative for as a breakfast, a post-training meal. You can add some greens to it to make it even more nutritious, or you can even have the greens separately just to give you some extra nutrients, just as a drink on its own. But I have this every day now with berries and almond milk and banana and so on, and it's really filling and it's really nutritious, and you can even give it to your kids. So that's available here at Live Breathe, so ask Andrea or Christian about that and they will give you a bit more information. I think that's it, guys. Good luck. I think I might be doing it with you because I'm going to Bali in 2 weeks, so that accountability will really help me. So good luck and all the best.